it's a former train depot turned into just this incredible like heaven for car enthusiasts.
I want to see that.
The beds have the front end of cars.
I was gonna say, are they car beds like for kids? I'd love that, but for adults.
Welcome, everyone, back to the Autopian Podcast. We've got Beau Bachman, Jason Torchinsky, and me, David Tracy. The three amigos, Autopian co-founders, and just all-around car nuts, here to talk your ears off and each other's ears off about automobiles and what's been going on lately. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Great. And I also think we need to point out that we have so much to talk about, so much great content, so many cool cars to talk about. We don't have time for a guest. We don't need any extra outside people. This is enough, right?
Or any real preparation. Because I actually forgot we were doing this.
Well, let's be careful here. We want guests. Rod Emery was a great guest, and if we can continue to have high quality guests like that, we will absolutely. That's what we want. But sometimes
we don't need them. We like them.
We like
them.
them.
We have to.
Yeah. They add to the richness of the tapestry.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is our 5th episode of season 2. I don't know how we're already at 5. But
we do 2.
I think they cut them up into 30 pieces.
Right. The editors, they're smart. They're like, we can get 5 episodes out of just 2. It's genius.
They use a lot of AI to fill in extra things we say.
Yeah. So if we said anything that didn't seem like us.
Yeah, it was some algorithm.
I'm pretty much having AI do my job for me at this point. I'm barely in the office. It just buys and sells cars.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And our competitors are using AI just to write all the stories.
They are.
And you're actually still using humans, like some kind of like.
That's right.
Jeez.
This is going to be like a John Henry situation.
Hold on. This is a pretty big. This is kind of a big deal.
This is a big deal.
Publications are using AI to write full articles.
Okay, why are journalists on strike the way that actors are on strike? Because they're pissed off because they don't want to be replaced by AI, which I agree with them. I'm glad they're standing up for themselves. Yeah. What about journalists?
Here's the thing.
It's going to happen.
I'm not worried because it can't work. The fundamental problem is AI doesn't know what it's writing. It has no idea what it's doing, so nothing could be true.
It can work. It has been happening. We've been seeing AI stories. Some other news outlets have written some sort of like open letters and there's definitely been I don't know that there's been a strike, but no one's thrilled about this, and I don't know that a publication has to disclose whether something is AI generated or not, which is crazy if you think about it.
How could they not have? Oh, I guess.
I don't know that there's a lot.
That seems weird.
Imagine reading, I don't know, like an adventure story about flying to Australia and buying a ute and fixing it, and it's written by a Travid Dracy, and you're like, oh, this is a person, but actually it's not.
I used to party with that guy.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like not knowing if it's AI or not is a scary concept, and I don't know.
I also think there's going to be a limit on it. Okay, for one thing, it doesn't know what it's writing. It's not aware. All these idiots, like all these tech billionaire guys who say it's going to take over, it's not going to happen because it fundamentally can't come up with ideas. It doesn't know what it's writing, and it uses bodies of work on the internet already to get source data. So at some point, we're going to get into this copy of a copy problem. As more AI crap gets on the internet, and that becomes the stuff that feeds it, it's just going to be feeding itself with more fake crap, and you're going to get garbage. So I'm not even worried.
But isn't it supposed to get like intelligent from the subject that it's given as well?
It can't. It fundamentally can. Even the name AI is a misnomer. It's just a bunch of if-then statements and branches and crap. It doesn't ever know what it's doing. It's not intelligence. It's a trick.
But it can take jobs. It can take
jobs for a while. People are
certain jobs. I think personally, like I think this could be a boon for the trades because We've taken things like auto shop at a high school, which is one of the worst things we've ever done. We have such a shortage of technicians in this country. It's ridiculous. If you want a high paying job, study to be a technician. Don't go to college and get a bunch of debt. Well, and I think a lot of these AI jobs are taking college jobs and a lot of these typical things that people are going to school for. That's what I would be worried about. Trades, things you work with your hands, that's the future. Fixing things, building things.
And
you can't go to AI for a haircut.
And to be clear, to the audience listening, Beau employs a lot of technicians, probably hundreds. Like, hundreds, yeah, right. You know where there's a shortage, and
biggest in our industry, not solvable within a decade unless everybody becomes a technician. I mean, it is really a high paying job.
Is it that bad?
Oh my gosh, absolutely huge.
Wow.
And it's huge competition. And by the way, okay, back to cars. The other thing AI can't do, AI can't drive a car. No.
They're trying. They're trying, but no, it can't enjoy driving a car.
That's what I mean. Although, wait a minute, if AI was then part of an autonomous car, could it get smart enough where it starts creating a personality? Okay, this is getting too far afoot. Maybe we should talk about
okay, let's move on. We have other things to talk about, including
automobile,
including why we haven't met in such a long time. There's been some traveling going on. I just got back from Germany. Beau, you just got back from a big European trip.
So cool.
Yep. And we actually met in Germany, which was a great time. Actually, tell us about your trip first, Beau. Where did it start and where did it lead?
So I had a Jaguar Land Rover dealer meeting that was in England at Gaydon. So I decided to see what else I might be able to do when I'm up there. So I've actually been wanting to go to. I've never been really I've never been to Barcelona. Haven't spent much time in Spain. And the car company has spent a Suizas trying to get off the ground. I drove the car, got to visit with those guys. They have the most incredible thing going up in Barcelona. I'd love to share with you guys. Then I went to England for the JLR meeting. Then I went to Germany to meet up with someone I just discovered who's now one of my heroes in the customizing world, Rainer Buchmann, who spelled almost like Bachmann, who customized Porsches and Mercedes and other European cars back in the 70s and 80s and did some of the coolest stuff. And how I wasn't all over this guy before, I don't know. But now that I found him, I'm unbelievably excited about him.
We should get him on the podcast sometime.
Oh, he'd be great. This guy, him and his wife, first of all, the most charming couple. Yep. Completely into cars. He has pioneered some of the most incredible things. Technology. He was like the first one working on digital dashes. He did a retractable hardtop before anyone else. He was the first one that did a Porsche Targa Turbo. He kind of came up with his own, he worked with Polaroid on a project and a movie and kind of came up with his own rainbow design. So he does everything from structurally building cars and doing that type of work to way ahead of his time on technology. Like when he worked with Polaroid, he took the sensors out and developed the first sensors on a car that could sense other bumpers and the curb and things like that.
Oh, I bet because Polaroid had a distance sensor. Exactly. On the old Polaroid cameras, it was like an ultrasonic distance sensor. Holy crap, that's amazing.
So he used that in cars. So he was way ahead of his time. His only problem is, if you looked at when he developed these things, is either he was a decade ahead of his time, so far ahead, it took the whole industry to catch up, or it was that whole thing of the manufacturers of, not invented here. So they might look at his idea and say, okay, great. Now that we see the idea, let's go copy it, and with our team. And in a few years, we're going to have what he has. So he kind of got screwed over in that sense. But his car designs are just amazing. It just, like I said, the whole Targa Turbo thing, he's done a lot of really amazing. And they just came out with a book about him and his company. So really cool stuff. So it's the BB Porsche, which my initials are BB, by the way. So everything like lined up like a little too perfectly for me. But I swear, like the coolest people, coolest Porsches, coolest other designs. Like I said, he did the first digital dash in Volkswagen. They did like a whole series of them, and some really cool stuff.
I just looked up pictures of the car and like the rainbow livery Porsche one, Polaroid one, and it's amazing. Yeah. These are so cool.
Yeah, so I
Porsche didn't make a Targa Turbo. So what?
Wait, Beau. There's a pic, David. Can you show a picture, David? Because there's a dashboard here. I'm going to send it to you in Slack, David. You have to see it.
And he was doing slant nose Porsches on a 911 with 928 headlights that popped up. Whoa. Again, like years before.
Oh,
Porsche
I see it.
Yeah.
So there's a dashboard I just sent David that looks like it has like a Sony television in there and a whole bunch of like audio equipment in there.
Oh, that's the thing too. He did.
Look at this.
This is so rad. This is the most expensive Porsche of all time, or the most expensive Porsche of the day. I don't remember how much it cost, but the guy literally just wanted to make the most expensive Porsche. He won the lottery or something ridiculous like that. So you can see that's the BB logo, which I particularly enjoy because that's my initials as well. And that was the other thing. He loved audio work. So you look, he's got like dozens of speakers. This is totally like Pit My Ride shit. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And what year is this? Early 80s, somewhere in there?
This is 80 or 82, I think.
Wow. Is that a cathode ray tube TV?
It is, David.
In the dashboard?
Sony Trinitron cathode ray tube TV set in there.
And then behind it are all the amplifiers, and you had this other thing where it slide it out, and you'd have a champagne and like a super expensive bottle of like bourbon in there or something like that.
Is that a gold dashboard?
Is that a doorknob? What is that thing on the...
That's gold, baby. Yes.
It looks like gold.
I don't know what that knob thing is up there.
What is that? Oh, this thing's amazing. Yeah, what the hell is that?
I don't know what that thing is, but that's just another example. And you could pull up some of his other cars.
So good.
He's had more recent ones as well. Some really cool designs. And like I said, they were so pioneering, so much ingenuity, and it was all in Europe and European. So we didn't get to enjoy it here in America. So anyway, I'm going to see. Not only should do a podcast with it, but we should see when they can come over and visit us sometime. So anyway, we're just getting started. So that was when we met in Germany, and David, we got to hang out. How cool was that?
That's right. Yeah, I drove from Nuremberg, where my parents live, hit the Autobahn in my $600 Chrysler Voyager diesel stick shift minivan.
In the fast lane.
No, definitely not the fast lane. No, we hung out. Yeah, we hung out. We went to when I got there, and you were like, "So, Dave, where are we going?" I'm like, "I don't know anything about Frankfurt. I have no clue." But we actually ended up in a great old school German restaurant, kind of like a beer garden-y vibe. You know, you're sitting on the big long tables next to some randos, and my
schnitzel and spätzle. So good.
I had a Schäufele. It was good. I actually got to buy you a meal for the first time.
All right.
Because and pay for the taxi, because Germany is a little bit strange. They've got this thing about, even though it's 2023, cash is like it's their thing. Like cards, they're very strange about cards. Anybody who's going to visit Germany, you just have to bring a giant stack of cash everywhere. Restaurants don't like cards. Taxis don't like cards. It's bizarre.
And the right kind of money, too. They don't take those dollary dues that we got here.
That's right. The greenbacks are worthless over there. Wow. And by the way, so speaking of Rainer Buchmann, I spoke with his wife on the way out of that Autostadt place that we hung out in. There's this great car center near Frankfurt.
Oh, hard to describe, but we don't really have something like that here in America, but so cool. I don't know. You can kind of
honestly, it's kind of like what you've built sort of with your collection, except it's a bunch of dealers all in a huge old former warehouse. It's like a bunch of dealers are coming together and they show off their collections and also their inventory. And it's just a car person's dream. There's a restaurant, and honestly, Galpin is similar in like coolness. You got a great restaurant here and all that.
Yeah,
But
well, thank you. Well, also, it's like, those parking garages that are getting kind of popular now, where people are paying a bunch of money to leave their car parked, and then they have events there and things like that. It's that too, because you could park your car, pay like a monthly rent, and then you're part of this whole experience.
Yeah, it's almost like the car club here in LA.
Yeah, and then manufacturers like McLaren's there, and Morgan, and a bunch of different brands. It was cool. Anyway, I interrupted you. Sorry.
As I was leaving, I spoke with, and I can't remember her name. With
Katrin.
Rainer, what was that?
Katrin.
Okay, yeah, Rainer Buchmann's wife, Katrin, and she told me because I mentioned that I was heading to Munich. She said, you should stop by this place called Motor World. And I was like, what is that? Yeah. It is the most insane hotel you will ever stay in. If you're ever in Munich, or they have them in a bunch of cities. Actually, I'll look it up. It is absolutely incredible. You are sleeping inside a car museum that is accessible 24/7. If you wake up at 3 a.m. and you're like, you know what? I want to hang out with cars. You leave your room. What? And then you just walk around these incredible cars at 3 a.m. There's no one. I took video of all this. I'm just wandering through this incredible car museum. And look, a lot of the cars are like,
David, what kind of stuff do they have there?
Oh, okay. They had an amphi car. They had this little red. Didn't I send you this little red car?
Oh, that little red guy. Yeah, wait, that it looks similar to one of the micro cars I think Beau has in his collection too.
Yes, it was some little red micro car. There were a bunch of exotics. There was a World War II Jeep. There were a bunch of cars that I took a bunch of pictures. You'll just have to check out the Autopian Motor World. If you're in Europe, especially in Munich, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. It's absolutely incredible. It's a former train depot turned into just this incredible heaven for car enthusiasts.
I wish we were sharing pictures right now. I want to see that.
Oh yes.
We'll edit some in. We'll edit in pictures. We should work out a deal, like a promo deal with them for our members. Do a retreat there or something. Sounds amazing.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
That's a great idea.
I think there's one in Stuttgart. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's one in Lord. There's one in Stuttgart where the beds have the front end of cars.
I was gonna say, are they car beds like for kids? I love that.
I gotta show you. Oh Lord. Okay, this is the one in Stuttgart. I'll show you the one in Munich, the one that I stayed in later.
So should I stay there next time I go to Stuttgart?
Without question. This
is so rad.
I'm gonna show you the one in. Okay, boom. All right, can you see this? All right, this is the one in Stuttgart.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
hold on. Forget all this. Okay,
forget the restaurant. That's food.
Oh, the Jaguars.
All right, you see a bunch of cars here.
Yeah.
Let's get to the ridiculous stuff. Look at that bed.
Oh, an old Mercedes.
No way.
No
way.
Look at this bed. A Cadillac.
Oh, okay. That's actually uncommon in
bed.
Who imported that to Germany too?
This is
it's like an 80s coupe de ville or sedan.
Beetle. Bed.
Dude, it's your room, Jason.
I love it. And look, there's a couch made out of the back half of the Beetle. Oh, I love the Euro lights on this one too. Those
Motor World Stuttgart.
Oh, David, look, those are car wash brushes.
The bristles on the car wash. Wow. As the bedposts.
This is fantastic. The
one I stayed in Munich was, it was also incredible. It was in a former.
Wait. Did you stay there?
I stayed there.
You slept there?
I slept there. I'm going to write the whole thing on the website. I slept there. It's in this former train depot. And it's just an incredible place.
It's like a car dorks amusement park. It's fantastic.
If you love cars, Motor World is just the most unreal place to spend a night.
Yeah, dude, we gotta get hooked up with these guys. This would be great for our members.
Yes, it would. Yes, like get a member experience going.
So we need a Motor World out here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe, we absolutely do.
Maybe they want to buy the Holiday Inn across the street. We could do something together.
That's right. Let's get a Motel 6 and turn that into a Motor World.
There's another one right here too. We're ready for it.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay, so let's talk about. We have another number of things we need to talk about, including
We should mention how this past week, when all you were like out, I was left running the store.
That's right.
By
Jason
the
was
way,
all on his
great
lonesome.
job.
Yes.
Thank you,
Great
Beau.
job,
Pulled it off.
Jason. Oh, by the way,
Without David gone and Matt was gone. Oh boy.
yeah, we have a staff of 5 people. With 2 of
We
us
don't have a lot
gone.
of people.
With 2 of us gone, we've got 3 people running a site.
He's out for part of the time. It was. I'm going to complain a little bit because it was a pain in the ass. And here's the thing: everybody who hears that like they're gone and it's just me there, everybody is saying like, "Oh, Jason's going to get to go nuts and do whatever he wants." I'm just trying to run everything. Oh, thanks. Like I'm just going to run the show.
Well, Jason, there were some. I remember I was in Germany. I was logging in on the site. I was like a little bit scared. I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen? What's on the front page? Jason wrote this great post where he writes some haikus. And you have to, based on the haiku, figure out what the car is.
Did you read these, Beau? If we read them to you, have you read them?
I did not see it because I was traveling, so I missed that.
You want to try to guess the car based on the haiku?
Okay, I'll try
Let's
as
do
well.
it. Yeah.
I'll try. These are really hard. I recall.
Okay.
All
right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Here's the first one. Corrugated look, like a shed and just as fast. French food truck icon.
Oh, geez.
You remember the weird corrugated sides on the Citroens? Say it again, Jason.
Okay. Corrugated look, like a shed and just as fast. French food truck icon.
What throws me.
So this is a Citroen. It's those big food truck vans. In any city. And I didn't remember what was the R something or
HY. It's the HY van. But you were sure what you were picturing is it. The big Citroen corrugated side van.
We got to throw up a picture of that too. That's what I see.
Citroen HY.
Well, the last one someone gave it away. All right. Well,
here's another one.
That's a hard one.
Here's another one.
Okay.
The H van.
Brit Charm's last vestige. Framed like a house, all wooden, somehow still around.
Well, one more time.
Brit Charm's last vestige, framed like a house, all wooden, somehow still around.
Morgan. It's got to be a Morgan. Any Morgan or
any of the ash framed Morgan. So a 4 Morgan. All right, there you go. We did it.
That's
I got one.
No, that's good. These are not easy.
No, these were deliberately meant to be hard. Okay, so this one, I'll give you, so I mentioned something called a Hamantaschen in this next one, and it is a type of pastry that Jews eat on a Purim, and it's shaped kind of like a little triangle, kind of. So that's
okay. Thank you.
So it says, looks almost modern, powered by Hamantaschen, ahead of its time.
Oh, so it's rotary, triangle.
Yes.
Is that what that means?
Yes, that's right.
Looks almost modern, you said?
Yes. Think about rotary cars.
Like an FD RX-7?
No.
Wait, say it again.
Looks almost modern, powered by Hamantaschen, ahead of its time.
But it doesn't quite look modern.
It looks, if you change the bumpers and lights, it could pass for a modern car. That's
a Mazda Cosmo?
Not a Cosmo. Think of the other company that made rotaries before.
Oh my gosh!
So that would be not H. What? Jeez, what
you're almost there.
NSU. Yeah.
Yes. NSU. Which NSU?
I don't know them. I don't know the NSU models.
Do you know the? Well, it's an NSU Row 80. Hold on, David. I'm going to send you a picture to share.
Okay, that's hard.
This thing.
The Row 80.
Matt knew it, by the way.
Yeah, Matt knows the Row 80. Hold on. Like this car is amazing because it was like designed in the late 60s. And I swear, you put plastic bumpers on this thing, it would pass for a modern car today. It is.
By the way, I'm loving this whole game. This haiku thing I just love it.
It's just a great idea. I mean, Torch, this is what everybody wants when you're running the site. Just get weird.
What you do when I realize I don't have time to research anything. We've been like an hour and a half without a post, and I have to get something up.
A little bit of panic leads to the best posts. Let's be real.
I agree.
This Row 80 looks good, actually. It does look
Row
good.
80 is a fantastic car. One of our Rich Leather members, Myron Vernus, has one.
Super cool.
I will also mention that Jason's possibly his most brilliant contribution to car culture is the realization that you can create a car's taillights out of sushi.
I was hoping you were going there with this. Absolutely. And I agree with the readers. That should be a T-shirt. Those are great T-shirt designs.
We're going, actually, now that you mention it, we're doing a test right now of rapid response T-shirts, and I'm going to make one either tonight or tomorrow. It should be for sale on the website by tomorrow.
Don't forget I'm a large.
Okay, we'll get you a T-shirt. And also, here's what I want to do, Beau. Maybe you can help me, because you're a sushi aficionado. I want to do the sushi taillight thing with a real sushi chef.
That's good.
I'll give them taillights to recreate in sushi, and we just do a night where they make like all of these things that I usually draw. I want real sushi versions of. I think would be amazing.
We need to have an event and a party where we serve taillight sushi.
Oh, that's good.
It would be. It's like a dream come true right there. All right, you want to do one more haiku?
Nope, let's move on.
Yes. No,
Okay.
one more. Come on, one more.
All right.
One last one. Ready?
Yeah.
Named like the space probe, with the seats that stow and go. Bet your mom had one.
First thing's Chrysler minivan, but
Name for a space probe. This space probe was in the news this week, actually. It's
Voyager.
Yeah. So
boom. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it. Okay, there we go. Now we can move on.
Okay,
all right, that's a great one.
That is a good.
It's a tricky thing when you're running a site. Like, obviously, you want a good amount of news. You want some reviews. You want some interesting technical stuff. You want some history. But sometimes you just want some weird Torchinsky shit. Sometimes that's what
I want. That every day. That's what I want.
Guys, peaches.
That's right. All right. Okay, we got to talk about the RV situation.
Oh yeah.
It's not really a situation yet.
Vehicle.
Yes, it's not a situation yet.
Explain the whole goal, David, so they're aware of why we're.
Well, Beau, let's talk about the idea of an RV, an Autopian RV, and what that sort of could be.
Well, I think we were kind of looking at a couple of purposes. One, to have like our own place wherever we go, a place we can hang out. We got a bathroom, if we have members there, they, our hangout place. But also, if we want to be cheap and not pay for hotel rooms, we just put our crew, there. They just keep them working all the time. You know what I'm saying? And transportation. So it's like, it works in so many ways. But we can't just have some typical, motor home. It's got to be something, Autopian. So hence, you put out the word to the readers, and we got some really amazing things back.
So the two that we were looking at most recently, the first one that sort of got away is called the Ultra Van, and it is a rear engine, air cooled, in this case manual. It's basically a Corvair engine in what looks like a fiberglass toy. RV.
This is my personal favorite. Yeah,
looks like a toy whale. It's just looking. Has 3 wipers in the front.
It's adorable.
Unfortunately, the one for sale apparently was sold. I don't know. The guy was, and we're never going to find another one. So
how many
it's not going to happen?
Like, there's put the word out. You never know.
Now, what do we think about the size of it? It's a bit small. What do we think about that, Beau? Do we want something smaller? Do we want something bigger?
Well, I think it's, what are you willing to trade off? In this case, I'd trade off that space for this thing being so freaking cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. I think we could still fit, it could sleep like 4, I think. I bet.
Yeah, well, it depends on what ages they are, if it's Torch, if it's you and me, that's like 2. If it's David, you could fit like everyone he knows in there.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay, so that one sold. It had been up for sale since November, and then it sold. Last week, I guess. So we continued searching, and we found this Volvo F7. This is basically it's like an over-the-road truck, like a tractor trailer, the tractor part of the tractor trailer truck thing, converted into an RV for the DuPont family. Yeah. Specifically. It was converted.
By the way, I don't think the DuPonts were sleeping in this thing, but just say it. The reason one of the richest. We'll see. If one of the richest families in the world was sleeping in this thing. But anyway,
maybe
I digress.
Maybe they were hanging out in it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, and apparently they were avid equestrians because there are horse stables in the back, which we thought could be converted into a small microcar garage.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was excited. I thought maybe it was like for cars at first because, that's where my brain goes. But yeah, horses.
Like it's 4 horse stalls, but we clear out the horse stalls. And then I think we could fit like easily 4 microcars in there. And there's ramps to get them down. You could do it.
The problem is that the living space is, it's probably not any smaller than the Ultra vans, but it's not the Ultra van.
It's pretty awful. And go back to that picture, by the way, or a couple of those, like not for nothing, but if we're going to have people actually sleep in it, the things like I see mold coming out of the bottom, like this whole thing would have to be gutted. It is just absolute crap. So literally we'd have to tear the entire thing out and build it back from scratch so by the time you do all that, you might as well buy something decent. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And the thing is, this was restored back in we found.
That's gross. Not for nothing, but I wouldn't want to use. I'm a man, and I wouldn't want to use that toilet. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
If you actually get a female in there, which David, you have a nice young lady that you're spending time with these days, who I love, by the way. You want something that you're not embarrassed to have a woman or anyone use the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
We haven't seen David's apartment though, so.
It's better than that.
No, you should have seen the old house. Oh my goodness. Woo. Anyway, okay, so all right, we've announced to the world that I'm hanging out with a girl these days. All right, it's out of the bag.
You've got a girlfriend, and she's awesome, by the way.
She's
pretty great. She's
we don't know how you did it, but we're very happy for you.
I'm on borrowed time. She's gonna find out who I really am soon, and you're a sweetheart. When I show up with any grease behind my fingernails, she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's bare. I cleaned that for like 2 hours. What do you mean?"
I'm pretty sure that just forms on David no matter what he does.
Yeah,
that's right.
Produces it under his nails.